blessed to be able to rub shoulders with you. This is going to sound narcissistic. It is not. I'm humbled by the fact that this started in this room 13 years ago because I wanted to give back to the community, because this is where I was raised. Every day for me is a blessing. But this, I'm telling you, what we're doing here, it is such a blessing to work with people that love community and want to help businesses and grow and such. And the type of people that you are, I plan to do this till I drop dead, because every day's a vacation. It's not work for me. I get tired, but it's not. Anyway, enough said. I'm just saying you can have that same experience because you get into part of business what you put into it. And there's a lot to put in right now. Thank you.
Without that said, I'm going to read from Anna's bio. She was kind enough to provide a bio to us. So we're gonna have Anna Cheney speak. She is a certified transformational empowerment coach. She's managing director of Northern Idaho Polka Dot. Is the Powerhouse part of that? Okay. So managing director of North Idaho Polka Dot Powerhouse. What is that?
I'll tell you when I
Great, because apparently I want to know there's a lot of oohs and ahs. So. All right, so I'm not going to go through all your social media contacts, but we'll provide those. And Nick said we can put this on Discord, so that'll be good. Anna is a gifted transformational life coach who supports her clients in creating personalized lifestyles that are doable and sustainable so you can live a better life. She helps you learn and observe your heart nudges. Ooh, I like that. As it leads to where your spirit longs to soar. Anna will share her Big 5 Vision worksheet, an effective tool to soar in your life and career, and the senses that are an integral practice in achieving your goals. Today, her topic is your Big 5 Visions and the senses needed to make them come true. Without any more delay, I'm going to introduce Anna Cheney. Anna, welcome.
Well, thank you so much. I actually was invited here by Aaron, but then I also had a wonderful conversation a few weeks ago with Nell, and then I have several Polka Dot Powerhouse sisters here. So when I got the reminder from Aaron that I was speaking, I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't put that on my calendar. But I didn't stress out because I had already had this relationship building practice with Aaron and with Nell and with my sisters in Polka Dot Powerhouse. So yes, I'm a little bit nervous. I didn't throw up or anything like that. I'm over there, so we're all good. So as you guys know, I'm not from the C place. I've only lived here for 3.5 years, but I came from Boise. Yay, I'm still right. Yes. So while down in Boise, I was an entrepreneur in Mary Kay. I was a senior director in Mary Kay, and I was looking for a networking group that wasn't salesy weirdo. And I got invited to a group called Polka Dot Powerhouse, which the headquarters of Polka Dot is in Wisconsin. Eau Claire was launched 10 years ago. So it's a local and worldwide organization. And the reason why we don't call it salesy weirdo is because we really focus on relationship first and business will come from that, which Nils and I talked a lot about that. And that's what you guys are all about too. And so probably why I felt comfortable coming here as well. And so when I was in Boise for 2.5 years, I was in Polka Dot. And then I got to come to God's country, to this part of Idaho, because my 3 adult children and 3 grandchildren had already made their way this way and said, we are never leaving. And so my husband and I took plane rides every 9 weeks, back and forth, coming and visiting them. And after 2 years, we were like, yeah, we need to go up there too. So we did move here. It's been about 3.5 years now. And as I was leaving Boise, or even before I left Boise, for those 2 years prior to us planning, I knew that I was going to be the managing director here. I was just crossing my fingers that no one would take that position before I could get here. And lo and behold, that didn't happen. So I launched Polka Dot. We just had our anniversary 3 years ago, 3 years ago. Here at Live Coffee, we come here every morning, every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. have coffee. We have lots of other events. That's not what you're here to hear about. So I'm going to speed that up. Absolutely love it. And in the process of moving here and being here, we had the ability to, can you turn that off like this? Like in front of you, Bill. I had the opportunity to kind of do some soul searching and heart searching on what did I want to do with this next season of my life. And because being in leadership in Mary Kay and pretty much leadership everywhere I went in raising my children, I realized that I was always the mom on the Little League bench that all the other moms came to talk to about what was going on in their life. What was working, what wasn't working. And so I was just like this mentor, and everything that I was doing, even with my consultants in Mary Kay, I was the mentor. I was the big mama who they always came to discuss things. And I really loved it. My heart was full every time I could see somebody's life changing. Because of the conversation we had and the empowerment that I gave them to step into the better version of themselves, to take the higher road, to see through the woods, to get out of the muck and the mire of their life. And so when we were here, I told my husband, I think I want to be a coach. And he's like, yes, finally, you're going to go do what you do for free all the time. He was used to me always getting a discount or a deal in Mary Kay, but that mentoring thing, it was free. And I would use a lot of my time in it. So I really felt that it was important for me to get certified. So I did a 1.5 years worth of online schooling and through the Health Coach Institute, and got health and life coaching. And it's been really pivotal for me because that was a personal goal for me too, because I quit college, started having babies, became a serial entrepreneur, and felt like I had never checked that box that said, you have a diploma, right? So it was very important to me to take that empowered step and do something that I felt like I had quit on. And that's what I love to do in my life coaching, is help people take back their power in something that they just let go, or take back their power in the fact that they're walking around with their life like a clanking cymbal, right? That's why I talk about harmony, is because sometimes in our life we think, oh, I'm just doing it. I've got my business going and I'm 100% there. And with my Mary Kay, what I did is I spent about 14 hours a day becoming a senior director in 2 years' time, and all the rest of my life was just hanging on by a thread. And so, yeah, I was soaring, and I was getting accolades, and I was super busy, and my company, I was making money, but everything else was falling apart. And that's what I call the clanking cymbal. You know, my family was like, I was half living for them, half living for me. And so it's my mission to show other business owners and my clients, whether they're even just a mom having self-abandonment issues where they have taken care of everybody else and not themselves, that it's time for them to start nurturing all 4 areas of what I call their healthy self. So that's where I get that emotional, spiritual, mentally, and physically. And if you even have one of those areas out of your life, you have a clanking cymbal. And when you have all 4 areas that you're working on in your life in unison with themselves, there is a peace. You feel at ease. You feel fulfilled. You feel that you're invincible, like you have power. And so that's why it's so important for me to share that with you today. And we're going to use a little tool that I want you to, it's kind of like a goal setting tool, but I'm going to add a twist to the goal setting tool of that. And I want us to take a look at some different areas in your life that you might set some goals. And then we're going to talk about what it takes to reach those goals. Because how many of you have done a vision board? Maybe not the guys, but the women, maybe some of the guys.
What?
My nephew does it as a vision board. Or you write out your goals and you stick them on a bulletin board and you stare at them and then you walk away. And after about a year, I look at my vision board and I go, nope, didn't do it, and I throw it away. It's happened to me time and time and time again. And it was because I was missing this one component. And so it's not visualization, it's not manifestation, it's called mental rehearsal. And so we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. So back on that journey of clanking cymbals. How many of you feel like right now in your life you have some clanking cymbals?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Right. And I'm not talking about like completely stopping your business. Because all of us have heard harmony be sung or played, right? So there are some notes that are playing louder than others, but then there's a queue of notes that are playing down here. That's totally okay. Because sometimes, for me to become a senior director in Mary Kay, I had to work hard, really hard to get there, to reach those goals. But the problem was, is I let all the other things, I let the other notes go stagnant. It was like flatlining your heart rate, stagnant. Or below the line, where I was grasping on to hold on to those areas of my life. So what I want to empower you with today with this tool is to like create that goal, create that vision, and then as we pass those around, I want you to take a look at these. We're going to talk about, and I want you to start filling out at least one of the areas on this circle that I have for you, this 5 big vision. I want you to pick one of those areas, and I want you to take a moment. We're going to actually do this. The form looks like this, and there's areas that are money, love, that which is greater, which would be like your spiritual practice, career, and your health. I want you to pick one of those on that handout, and I want you to fill out 3 goals that you would want to accomplish in a 1 year's time. Now remember, goals are this. And, you know, as an entrepreneur, you're like, Anna, okay? So goals are SMART goals. They're specific, they're measurable, they're achievable, they're relevant, and they're time bound. So this particular exercise would be 1 year's time. Now, when I say they are measurable, meaning the time and you can keep track of what you're doing, sometimes you, like in the love category, yeah, you might be able to keep track a little bit about how many dates you go on or how many little love dots you give to one another, but the specific is important, but the achievable is incredibly important. It does not take a lot to make a goal happen. I want you to do what Mary Kay Ash always said, keep it simple, sweetie. So that achievable, it's not like, I'm going to make $1 million this year. Okay, you probably can. I know you can, because all of us have the ability to do great things. But is that really achievable in a 1 year period of time when you're trying to keep harmony in your life? So, take a moment. In that little one of those sections, I want you to fill it out. I want everybody to do that. I'm going to pause for a minute if you don't. So I take my clients through this exercise, and I also have a career wheel, and I also have a wheel of life wheel. And we'll go through these, and we will not only just put the goal down or what they're going to do. We actually walk through the obstacles. We walk through what story have they told themselves, why they can or can't create that from that goal happening in their life. We talk about what do they need to let go in order to achieve this goal. And then I get a resounding yes. Are they ready to tackle that? And then we get them into empowered action. And that is, we create steps that they're going to do to make that goal actually happen. And then accountability, whether it's with me, but I also ask them to get accountability with their circle of friends that are with them, that, hey, I'm going to do this. I could use your help in helping me be accountable to myself to create this goal in my life. Okay. So everybody's got something on their paper. That's great. Great. So I told you I was going to share with you the secret sauce. The secret sauce is called mental rehearsal. Mental rehearsal is a technique that is actually used by champion athletes. And the athletes imagine the game from their perspective as though they are actually competing. So I know I keep referring to Mary Kay, but that was a pretty good goal. I became a director in 1 year. I became a senior director in year 2. In Polka Dot Powerhouse, I came here. I wanted to launch the chapter. That was mental rehearsing and me being here. Within a year, we had 100 members. So it's something that I practice every time I'm ready to do something big in my life. And also the little things in my life too. Like right now I'm on a big weight loss journey and I'm visioning what that looks like and how I'm going to feel. So athletes do the same thing. I did this in Mary Kay. I envisioned for a year me being on the stage, me walking across the stage in my gown, me having my name called out. The big vision, and then I had little small mental rehearsals of what it was like. What did it feel like? What did it smell like? What did it taste like? When I talk about those 5 senses, you need to bring that in. This is what athletes have done for years. Many of you, how many athletes in high school had some sort of mental rehearsal that you did to compete? Yeah, I saw your head nodding, so I'm like, I bet you did. I bet you did. So the mental rehearsal is a performance based by breaking it down into tiny components and working on specific aspects. So when I say you can mental rehearse, like I can mental rehearse being on that stage, I had to break it down into tiny achievable things. A tool like this would have been wonderful during that time in the career section of it. So I could pick those top ones and then I can create small goals along the way. It helps you practice overcoming habitual resistance. How many of you have done your goals and then you resisted, and then here came the time that was supposed to be the date of your goal and you did an accomplishment and you walked away like this, right? This is like small cheering yourself along the way. And sometimes it's unavoidable that we were able to reach that goal, like a surgery came up or a life experience came up. So we just don't quit, we just rewrite the business plan. We just keep moving forward. We keep rehearsing, well, what's next? What's going to happen next? Really important when you're achieving these goals is that it links pleasure and healthy behaviors in your brain. We are made for pleasure. Wouldn't you agree with me? Yeah. Right? Anything that's pleasurable, we like it. Like eating food. I eat certain foods and they're very pleasurable, like cheesecake. I love it. And it's very pleasurable, but it's not always healthy for me. So I have to find a different pleasure that would substitute that. So we're going to do it, good behaviors or bad behaviors with these goals, if we are not intentional, because we are just made for pleasure. That's why it's important to use your 5 senses when you're creating these goals and you're mentally rehearsing what it's going to be like. What are you going to smell? What are you going to taste? What are you going to see? And I'm not talking like just taste of the yummy cheesecake. I'm talking about tasting success, feeling joy, feeling accomplishment. You know, there's other things besides just smelling the roses. So also it motivates you to follow through in a way that you haven't been able to before, because you're able to do this consistently. A mental rehearsal is not, I am a superstar. I am a superstar, I'm a superstar, I'm a superstar, day after day, right? Trying to convince myself that I'm a superstar. No, I actually have to mentally rehearse, what does a superstar look like? How does a superstar act? What does a superstar do to prepare? How do I win the Olympic gold medal? It's through those mental rehearsals of me It reminds me of like bobsledding. You think about the bobsledders, they're like envisioning themselves, every turn, every bump, everything that has to happen, and they're not even in the bobsled or on the ice. So I just kind of put myself in that scenario when I'm ready to soar and accomplish my goals. So who is willing to share your area that you wrote down? Okay, go ahead.
So I picked career. And the first one I put, set up a CRM, just a customer retention management system for my business. Just a system, it's a bit daunting, I haven't done it yet, so. I put that on number one. It's one of those, I keep putting it off.
Okay, so stop there. So say it again, what is your goal?
Set up my CRM.
Okay, how's that gonna feel?
Oh, fantastic.
It's gonna feel fantastic.
Once I'm done.
Right, so what are you gonna see?
Flow and just, having it set to where I can connect with past clients, future clients on a regular basis.
So what is it gonna taste like?
What's it going to taste like? I'm not sure how to answer that one.
A taste of success,
Okay.
a taste of peace, a taste of, goodness, right?
Yeah.
And, gosh, I'll send them a blank on the rest of the sentences. But that's the idea that I'm talking about. So you take this page and you take that goal, and I want you to write 5 words that describe the senses that you're going to remember in the process of doing that one thing. Because when it gets really hard and life gets really busy and the system is super complicated and you just want to throw it out the window, you're going to bring in those pleasure senses to remind you of what it is that it's going to take for you to get back to your task and making that goal happen. What's your second one?
Second one is connect with one potential prospect, realtor, or buyer, home buyer a month, at least 1 month.
And so what are you going to hear?
Hopefully a lot of yeses.
What are you going to hear in those clients?
A need. Well, that's my goal, is to find what their need is. And then
But what's the pleasure in that for you?
the pleasure in that is helping someone.
Yeah. So seeing their success happening because of the system that you brought them, right? So it's beyond the fact that you're just going to bring a tool to them.
Yeah.
It's beyond that. And if you duplicate that, like, oh gosh, I love hearing those success stories and I love hearing their needs. I don't want to just be a problem solver. That can be burdensome. But I want to be the pleasure sensor of that experience for you and for them as well. Great. What are you going to smell?
Roses.
Money. Yeah. Smell money, right? So maybe pick a spot that you're going to have those meetings at that create pleasure. It could even be here at Life Coffee, like, I'm going to smell that coffee brewing or that food baking or whatever. It's just that mental to your brain. What is it that is going to create that pleasure that you're like, ooh, I can't wait till I go to Life Coffee. I get to smell the coffee. I get to hear my client's success story and I get to solve their problem. So now that goal is way bigger, right? It has way more value to you to stick to it. When life gets tough and you have some no's and you feel discouraged, you can remind yourself of what it's going to bring to you. And what's your third one?
My third one is to learn about one new loan program per month, because there's a lot out there. People have no idea how many loan programs are out there to know about, and right now there's so many new ones. I get emails constantly, this new loan program, that new. So rather than, I thought about that because I get so inundated with emails from lenders. I'm like, there's so many. Which one do I focus on? Which one? So if I put down one a month, to me that's doable. That's a measurable. It's doable and it's measurable.
Yeah. You can take that a step further so it doesn't become a clanking symbol. Like you said, oh, there's so many emails. That's a clanking symbol right there. So what are the top 5 ones that you're super interested in? So break it down. See, what are those top 5? And then what is that going to do for you? How are you going to feel about that when you accomplish it? Smell the surroundings in your office when you're looking at those. Like, put something sweet smelling on your desk or your nice hot coffee. Something that can attach a pleasurable experience in the process of you doing a task that is very difficult, that is overwhelming, bombarding. So just break it down into what I call small habits. We say small doors or small hinges open wide doors. And with that idea in your head, the achievable of these goals becomes less daunting. It becomes more relatable. It becomes more tangible. All I have to do is take one step forward. One step forward. I share with my clients a lot that, we're on the riverbank and there's lots of stepping stones to get to the other side. So I want to mental rehearse who you are on that other side. But we're not going to take one leaping jump over to the other side. We're going to take one step at a time. That's what a process like this can help you do, is take one step closer to what you want. But if you really don't want to, like me, with my vision board, just throwing it away because I didn't accomplish that anyways, if you really want this to work, I highly recommend that you take on the tool of not just goal setting, but that you create practices of mental rehearsal. Cool. So thank you so much for letting me speak with you today. I'm here for some questions afterwards if you want some more clarification. And again, thank you, Erin and Mills, for letting me come and speak and sharing this little superpower that I feel is going to impact your life.
Awesome.
Anybody have questions for Ann?
Yeah.
I actually have a statement that goes along with what you said, is our brain does not know the difference between mental rehearsal and it actually in existing. It doesn't
That's
have
true.
a difference.
Yeah.
And so what you're teaching us, you're giving us that picture, and our brain doesn't know the difference. It thinks it's already happened.
Yeah.
So that gives us, this greater power in doing this.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of shared here, the difference between the mental rehearsal and just visualization, right? This actually is embodying it. It's rewiring the neural nets in your head. So absolutely. Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
No questions. I can see the results and go, that's what we're doing this for. Gives me some clarity. And my favorite smell wouldn't be chocolate, it would be bacon.
There's something what would you say if I asked you about the pace of how you achieve your goals? I mean, because some goals are much bigger and might take a different strategy of approach and how you approach them. I can relate this kind of to ski racing because I was thinking about when your vision, I did this all the time. We're always 3-4 gates ahead. You see us when we're up there, they set the course. You're side slipping the course, learning where the turns are, the terrain, so you can kind of anticipate what's coming next. But then you change disciplines, so you go from slalom, which are really quick, high, speed turns, everything's coming at you, bang, 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 to giant slalom, which is more flowing, has more timing, it's more skills-orientated, preciseness, and then downhill, which is just 80 miles an hour and stuff's going ripping. So how important would you say pace is to goals?
Pace is incredibly important because you have to keep reminding yourself that you have a win. You have a win. You have a win. That's why you've got to do goals that are achievable. Mm-hmm. So you're going to break these big goals down into small goals and give yourself increments of like, this is what's going to happen this week, and then that week, and then this week. Because if you don't, then your momentum is going to slow down. And you're going to do like I and just throw whatever you put on a piece of paper away after a year. So whether it's 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, you're going to give yourself that ability. I mean, this sheet is just a small parameter. Build it out on your steps and create accountability, because people can push you farther than you really believe you can go. I'm sure your coaches did that for you. Like, well, you may have this goal, but I see you doing that. Mm-hmm. And so...
Yeah, my problem is I believe I can do anything you put in front of me. Whether or not it's achievable.
Right. And that's not always smart, right?
Right.
So we gotta
but
go
that's
back.
what I was conditioned. Read can date anything, April.
Right.
Brittany.
Right, and if we just believe.
Yep,
if
just
we
believe,
just-
that's
And
enough.
if we just say enough I ams every day, but that is not.
It only goes so far.
That can only
And
go
so
so far.
I want to say thank you for saying out loud the part that I've always believed, which is the goal has to be achievable. If the goal's not achievable, what are you doing? You're just going to spin your tires. And it's like the elephant. How do I eat the elephant?
One bite.
One bite at a time. Start with the toenail or the tip of the tail.
One
Take your
small
pick.
habit at a time. That's what I teach.
So, go ahead, Nick. Hold up, guys. Hold up.
With respect to trying to assess how your pace is going to interact with your goals in the process, I think it's worthwhile to consider the constraints an interpreter has to deal with. Like, if I'm trying to be an interpreter for some high-level political interaction of sorts, it's important that I pay attention to the amount of time that I fall behind the person actually speaking. Like, if I'm translating for someone, there needs to be a time delay to occur, because if that time delay doesn't occur, I might translate words before ideas, and that functionally breaks down the communication. If I wait too long, though, as an interpreter, I can't track information for an extended period of time. And therefore, since I can't track the conversation beyond an extended period of time, I need to limit that time gap as much as I need to be adequate in making sure that time gap is long enough that as I'm interpreting things, ideas aren't lost because they haven't been communicated yet.
Yeah, have you guys met my friend Nick? All right. For Nick, and this is not to say anything negative about it, he has a great wealth of knowledge. There's not a lot of work experience, and for the lack of that work experience, his ability to communicate at the level that he does is pretty cool. If you haven't had a chance to sit with Nick and talk with him, he's a very enlightening individual. So particularly on the interpersonal communication side, the kid has 5 college degrees. Okay,
Wow.
and he understands him, and he pretty much had to teach himself, if I remember right. There was a lot of instructors there. He pretty much just said, if I'm going to learn this, because I'm not getting from you what I need, I'm just going to go figure it out. So, good job, Nick. Great question, and I want to build you up. Good job, Nick.
Thank you.
I also wanted to comment, you talked about people that push you forward. They can also push you back. So I love that adage, you are the sum total of the 5 closest people you associate with. So we do need to be particular about who we surround ourselves with. And when that group of positive thinking people with similar goals grows beyond 5, that's even better. But people can push you back too.
Right, and one of the main steps in transformation is being able to acknowledge that and letting go.
Yeah.
Like letting go of people, or letting go of habits, or letting go of culture influences. There's a lot of letting go that happens in transformation, and that's why it's great to have either a coach or have the top 5 people in your life that you can bounce that off, and they can go, how's that working for you? And empower you to let go, because a lot of times we are very codependent on people. It's just how it's always been, and they are holding us back from being the best version of ourselves. And so it's not like you're excommunicating them in your life, because that is awfully very hard for people, but you're just letting go of them being influencers in your life in that area.
And they may not be at a place at that time in their life. Eventually they may become that, but at that point, they can be detrimental.
Absolutely.
One thing I wanted to mention about the habits is that I've learned that letting go is important, but what has helped me and other people that I know with habits is letting go of the bad habit, but replacing it with a new good habit. So that you don't just feel like you're losing something.
Oh, absolutely.
You're replacing it
Yeah.
with something new and better and good.
Yeah, that's the practice that I do, is empower them to find that new replacement.
Yeah, I've talked about the small win thing in here before. You know, celebrate the small win, or you change that 1% a day, like you talk about in Atomic Habits, where if I'm starting to do that one thing to replace a bad habit, so let's say I do something, I reward myself, even just a little thing. Hey, I got up and I read for 5 minutes this morning. Great, now I can go do X, you know, because I'm going to reward myself from that. You can do the same thing in unlearning. You know, the problem is the habits. I always say 21 times to build a habit. You got to do it 21 times in a row to build a habit. You do it not once to lose it. It can happen that quick.
Well, and that, again, just bringing in those senses, like that's how you stick with those 21 times.
Feels good to
of doing
feel
that
good,
habit.
doesn't it?
Like I tell clients all the time, just go, yes, I actually did that. I chose this over that. I did it. Like they have to physically get involved in it, because if they don't, you just go on with your life and you don't cheer yourself for those moments of greatness. And then in that room, you're like, smells really good in here, right? So you just keep reaffirming to yourself that pleasure of succeeding, instead of just, yeah, I'm a badass and I did it. Because that's not enough. It's really not enough.
Just keep putting one foot in front of the other.
But
Yeah.
cheer yourself on.
Yeah.
And I just encourage you, don't take this paper, throw it in your car, stick it in your folder. Just get some clarity around what you really want in your life. So even you gentlemen, I know I talked a lot about food things like Mary Kay and about, you know, polka dot powerhouse. But really, I have worked, my husband has done this, I have done this, and it has helped us in our money, in our careers, in our lives. And so take the time to just get clarity around what it is that you really want.
Name's Nick Hawkins. I currently work over at Hagdon Media. I'm a business development manager. I'm working with their commercial print department. They have a whole set of big commercial printers that do everything from business cards to big banners. Trying to help them figure out how to sort that out and actually make that a marketable service.
Good morning, Catherine Becker. I own Photo Memories Preserved. I help people organize and preserve their legacies for their children.
My name is Tyler Becker. I own a retail business to sell high-end outdoor kitchen appliances and everything from outdoor to indoor and security, and that's about it.
Matt Lang with Cross Country Insurance. I do health and Medicare sales, so if you know anybody that's looking to meet some better needs for their health and or Medicare, have them give me a call. Thanks.
Good morning, everybody. My name is April Howard. I am with North Idaho Events, and I put on trade shows and community events. But also, I do work for Local Value. So if you have a TV in your business, that is a digital billboard to market yourself and support local businesses as well.
Hi, I'm Brittany. I do marketing consulting. I came from the outdoor industry, focusing on firearms, but I also work with Chris. Just solve problems in the marketing departments.
I'm Angie. I'm with Safe Harbor Anti-Human Trafficking. Our goal is to house, rehabilitate, and reintegrate trafficking survivors back into society.
I lean on Canada, and I'm just a noble, nice guy. I have a couple books out, and I dabble in all kinds of things. I fell into a sweet deal, so I'll talk more about it later. But I was renting a place, and the guy wanted to back out of it. It was formerly Porto. Porto is a workspace. It's a place where you can come and just out of your day, take a few minutes, and you can rent workspaces by the month all the way down to the hour, so.
Right on, thanks, Dave.
But, have a good day.
Excuse me. My name is Tyler with Oil Masters, the at-home oil change and other preventative maintenance, all for the same price as any of the quick lane places.
My name is Matthew Yelm with Promised Land Technologies, and my goal is to help you bring your data into more sustainable and maintainable type systems, where if you use Excel and hate it, then I want to get you into something a little better.
All right, I am Sean with Creative Tech. I am TVs. So when Angie goes to an office building and they need a TV, I can go in and put that TV in. So we can, good partner. But if you know of anybody that's moving in, remodeling, building, or just has a VCR and they don't know how to get to the streaming age, my company can help with all of that. Sean with Creative Tech.
With CLR Bookkeeping and Beyond, I customize a full range of bookkeeping services to the exact needs of your business.
My name is Leo Baroni. I'm with Quality Imaging Supplies. We provide remanufactured toner cartridges. We promote use and reuse. And we also provide printer parts, copiers parts, and remanufactured or refurbished printers.
Good morning, Deborah Baroni. This is my husband. I am a mortgage broker. I do creative solutions for getting home buyers into homes, and right now with the rates up, there are still ways to get people into homes, and I have lots of loan programs. Being a mortgage broker, I'm not kind of stuck to one company's programs. I can shop your loan just like a mortgage insurance broker, insurance broker. And I also help realtors make more money because I know how to get loans closed. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lynn Knapp with the Hitching Post Wedding Chapel, where we get to make people really happy. And do that because we like to make people happy. And help them start on their married life in a wonderful way.
Thank you. I'm David Lawrence with Garage Experts. We help you take your garage from chaotic and ugly to beautiful by doing epoxy floor coating, storage solutions, cabinets, overheads, racks, all that kind of thing. So if you need your garage fixed, give me a call.
I'm Dr. David Campbell with Wild Oak Wellness. Do acupuncture, herbal medicine, manual therapy, and other holistic healing modalities. I get people out of pain, over their whatever health issues they have, and back to enjoying life with their loved ones.
Good morning, I'm John Beebe. I did visit Dr. Dave today, and it's a wonderful experience. For those of you that don't know anything about acupuncture, I can highly recommend him. And I'm a mortgage senior loan originator. I've been doing mortgages for 33 years now, believe that or not. I love what I do. I know God put me there on purpose because I think the big benefit is I'm helping people either buy land or get into homes. We've got some portfolio products that are really good. I'm happy to meet Deborah. I think we'll be good referral partners. Maybe there's some things that she can do that I can't. I'll send her business. And so, yeah, it's a two-way street.
Same.
And wonderful to meet all of you folks and get to know you a little bit better. So, John Beebe, 255 Loan.
Hi, I'm Nick Bonds. I focus on organizational development and business optimization. And I'd say I specialize probably in interpersonal communication.
My name is Dr. Erin Bader, and I help people understand their strengths, maximize those strengths, and then minimize their weaknesses, so to eliminate frustration and to help their businesses to thrive.
I'm Anna Cheney with Life's Harmony Coaching. I'm a life transformational coach, and what that means to you is I, a while ago, realized that balancing life was a circus act, but that having harmony is much more balancing in our lives, and so I help my clients take their power back emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and physically.
Cool. I see at least one new face here today. What's your name again? Tyler, awesome, man, welcome. Yeah, what'd you think about this morning? If you mind me putting down. We
We
get
have a
called
question
the
here
around
for
here
you.
all the time, man, so people like to call you right out on the map.
It's new.
Is it? Yeah, it is new, and it's kind of fun, and what we're trying to do here is just build everybody up, and the way I explain to these guys all the time is, you know, there's a level of attainability out there that some of us may attain, which is gonna be great, but where we really need to work is on the local level, and supporting local business. You're built as businesses, there's people in this room that can help you. Nick has a great idea for Lynn. You need to talk to Nick about your idea and my Shusi Sensei. I thought that was awesome what we talked about this morning, Lynn. You need to do a speed dating thing.
Speed dating.
You need to you need to get your marketing going, you need to do speed dating, sponsored by the Hitching Post. Right? And that's Nick's idea, not mine.
Lynn, and then do a CRM as one of these people.
And Matt can help you with that, he might be able to help you with that down
I was
there.
gonna talk to you.
So, in fact, I mean, for you, I think Matt can help you with the CRM side and help you build that. So that's what this is all about, is helping us connect with the people that are in our community.